Hello, everyone. I am Megan Graham. Welcome to my Lifewave Live. I like to come on here usually on Mondays, but yesterday was a holiday, so I'm on here on Tuesday instead. I do like to come on here with a few tips for you guys to be successful in, I'm going to bring Alfie up here, in your Lifewave journey. And today I wanted to talk about something that seems very simple, but it makes such a significant difference when you are starting out the Lifewave patches. So let's talk about some simple things that commonly I hear people are doing that they do wrong. So I'm going to talk about the top 5 things, and then I'm going to talk about some other less common things that you may want to avoid as well. Per usual, please feel free to jump into the comments. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate you guys being on here with me. Please hit the thumbs up. It makes such a big difference for my channel. And also, I'd love it if you could take a minute to jump into the chat as well. Tell me where you're from, if you feel comfortable with it. And also let me know if you are wearing the Lifewave patches now. So the most common thing that I see with the Lifewave patches is the biggest common mistake is starting with the wrong patch or starting with the wrong patches, plural. It does make a big difference, and there are some patches that make a significant difference that cover so many of the bases that it's so easy to start with those and see a significant difference. There are other patches that maybe are a little bit more specialized and complex, and this is, again, just my opinion, but I do actually know a lot about these patches. Some of these patches, for me, I'm not going to start people on the patches until much later in the process, if at all. And on occasion, I see people start with those patches, and I'm like, please don't start with those patches. For the most part, this is the most important patch to start with. It is the X39 patch. It's the hallmark patch from Lifewave. It does so many different things that sometimes this is the only patch that people need. So you may not need to go and spend tons and tons of money every month. You may only need one patch. And I know maybe you want to buy several patches. That's up to you if you want to. I would not start with a bunch of patches if you want to feel good and you want a gentle starting process. So truly starting with, and there are many reasons that I go into, that's almost like another video, why I wouldn't start with certain patches, why it's difficult to start with those patches, and why if you do start with those patches, you might think you don't like the patches. I mean, it's kind of interesting. If you start with the right patch, your experience is going to be so much better. And hello, and thank you so much, Coach Sonia, Gator family. It's nice to have you on here. Ooh, Gators, you're from Florida. Thanks so much for saying hello. It's really nice to have you on here, and thank you for taking the time to do that. Guys, please don't hesitate to hit the thumbs up. It is free, and it makes a big difference for my channel. So that is one of the biggest things. There are certain combinations that I like to start people out with. That said, my favorite thing to do, if you don't know this, I am a brand partner. Honestly, at this point, I've helped thousands of people with their personal patching choices, if you will. And my favorite thing is to get on the phone with people and actually just ask them a few questions. And it's so interesting. I got a message from someone today, and they were like, hey, can I wear this patch, or can I wear the patches at night? And I was like, well, let's hop on the phone so I can ask you, what patch? What are your goals? What are you doing? Like, it's good to have some contextual information. And the person was like, forget it. If you're going to ask me those questions, I don't want you to help me. And here's the way I look at it. If your consultant or the person that's going to help you doesn't ask you questions, how can they tell you what's right for you? How can they tell you this is what I would do? There is never a one-size-fits-all answer for everyone, and so that's kind of part of it too. Patches are personal. How you wear them, how long you wear them, what you do with them, it can be personal. It's different for everyone. And Sonia says X39 is a great patch. I agree. I think it's the most important patch. I don't think everybody needs to. This is like clockwork. Simba is in the background, just like scream meowing. This is just part of my live stream. So if anybody knows Siberian cats, they love to belt out their scream meows. Do you hear him? You may not hear him, but our neighbors have cats and he is trying to get to them. So this is the most important patch. And sorry if I'm underselling you, but you don't need to buy everything. I want to save you money, believe it or not. So start with simple things. Oh, you do hear him, Sonia. Thank you for letting me know. There's literally nothing I can do to stop him. This is my quiet guy and my loud guy. I'm just gonna tell him to stop. Sammy's. Sam's. Part of YouTube is screaming cats. Sorry, everyone. This is my life. Oh, he's going to keep going. Okay, we will ignore him. It's distracting for me. So I have ADHD. So when there is meowing in the background, I'm going to actually get him. Sammy's. Sam's. Oh, he's okay. Come on. No. Okay, so I discovered what it was. He was on the wheel, and like a child, he was on the wheel, and he was extremely mad that I wasn't watching him use. No, I know you wanted me to see the wheel, but now you can sit with me. Okay, so this is simple, right? You should know this. We should all know this. Not drinking enough water. And you should be drinking water for every single reason in the world. But if you are wearing this patch, and you're dehydrated, you're not drinking enough water, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. You are not going to get results. So if you're not drinking water, and guys, water is free. You don't need to buy Fiji water, Smart water. You don't need to buy a ton of expensive water to be hydrated. You can drink whatever water you would like. So for instance, my husband and I, we distill our water and remineralize it. We make our own water, basically. We do put it through the Lifewave water machine, which we are fortunate enough to have, but you don't have to do that. Just stay hydrated and potentially look at putting electrolytes into your water as well. Make sure you are properly mineralized. Guys, if this is helping you, please hit the thumbs up. If you already know this or you have any additional tips, please feel free to drop them in. This might sound so basic, but it is shocking when you hear. So for instance, I fill up 2 Stanleys a day, and I drink 2 Stanleys a day. And I make sure to do it. It's not always easy, but that is what I need to do because I live in a very warm, very dry climate. So staying hydrated is everything, not just for the patch, but if you want the patch to work and you want the signal to go throughout your body, you do have to drink water. So that is super important. Someone did come on to my YouTube and ask me if they could drink alcohol for their hydration. No, alcohol definitely does not count as your hydration. It was a really interesting question. I wasn't sure if they were joking or serious. Alcohol is dehydrating your body. To me, it's the opposite of what you want to be doing with the patches, and things that we want to be doing with the patches are just good things for our body, right? I mean, basic good things for our body. So drinking enough water is super important. Drinking enough water also helps your body with all of the processes that it needs to do. So you're able to move toxins out of your body. You'll have more energy. Every single system in your body works better when you're hydrated. So it's not just for the patches. This is super important. This next tip is something that I'm just going to tell you nobody likes to hear. It's just not what people want to hear, but expecting overnight results is probably one of the most common mistakes that I see with people. Now, do some people feel the patch after wearing it for 24 hours? Yes, it is possible. I have seen it. I have seen it in about 5 to 10% of my clients, but I wouldn't expect it. I wouldn't feel that because you didn't feel a change in 24 hours, this patch isn't working. Some people expect that they're going to have massive changes in 1 month, and reasonably speaking, that is not going to happen. These are a cumulative long-term thing. And why do I bother telling people this? I know that everybody on here, you're not all clients of mine. I don't work with all of you personally, but I do want you to have realistic expectations, because all good things don't happen overnight and all good things don't happen in 1 week. Does anybody have anything to add to this? This is the most common thing that I hear. are people asking me if, excuse me for 1 second, he is actually driving me crazy. I will be back. Excuse me. Bye. Let's see if it gets any better. It's happened lately whenever I'm filming videos or when I'm doing live streams. He is super, super loud and vocal. One of our neighbors has 10 cats and he knows that they're there and he goes absolutely insane over it. Okay, so overnight results, everybody. I know this is so funny. Every time I bring this up, people are like, well, I mean, I need to know within a week if they're working, or I need to know within a month. Nothing that you do that is of value is going to make that big of a difference in your body overnight. Short of having surgery or, doing something like getting your makeup done or getting a haircut or a hair color, we don't really see instant changes. And to me, I think that I know everybody loves to tell those stories of, oh my gosh, I put it on and I felt this overnight. I did feel small. When I say small changes, I mean a very, very gradual, very small increase in stamina, let's say the first week. And that gradually grew, but it wasn't some electric shock current of feeling like, oh my gosh, I have so much energy now. I'm going to go for a run, or every problem I have is solved. That is not the expectation that I want to set. Have I seen pretty miraculous changes happen for people? Absolutely. But I think that setting that expectation super, super grounded and reasonable, and knowing, for instance, what David Schmidt says is for every decade that you are old, expect to wear the patches for that long. So I am 49 years old. So when I started the patches, I think I was almost 47, and I knew that I was going to plan to wear them for minimum of 5 months. I was going to give them a minimum of 5 months. You don't have to do the same thing. It's totally up to you. If you're feeling skeptical and you only want to try them for a month, that is your prerogative. But just know that most of the great things that you see that unfold for people don't happen in a month. I regularly hear back from people, and yes, they do notice some things in the first month or so, and then they tend to notice even more things. But it never happens overnight, and it never happens all at once. So just know that if you give up really early, you may be missing out on some kind of great thing that could be happening for you. This is one of the most important things. So first of all, I do love the patches. I work with Lifewave all the time, and they are one of a lot of different holistic things that I do for my health. So I don't just do the patches and call it a day. I do a lot of different things. But thinking that you can wear this patch and that it's going to outrun your sleep, stress, and unhealthy lifestyle, like it's going to fix all of your problems, that is not what the patch is intended for. And it's really a reason that I try to be so reasonable with people, and I try to explain having good health and having a life where you look and feel good and you're not faking it or constantly, drinking tons of caffeine to feel okay, or taking whatever people take to, take away their pain or what have you. You have to work at it, right? Like if you treat your body like trash, if you're eating bad things, if all of your activities are causing more inflammation and you're not getting enough sleep and you're not getting enough movement in your life, even though these patches are great, they can't fix that for you. And so the way that I always look at this realistically is that I think that the best candidate, because not everybody is a candidate to wear this, the best candidate for me is somebody that already cares about their health, already cares about their wellness, and they're actually doing things proactively to take care of themselves. They're prepping their food, taking walks, sleeping. For instance, my husband and I, we eat very low inflammation. We make most of our food at home. We eat grass-fed steak, wild caught salmon. We avoid seed oils. We filter our water. We use air filters. I don't drink alcohol. And I try to do a lot of good things for my health, and I try not to do a lot of things that I know are detrimental for my health. So all of this makes a difference. Like today, I went and weightlifted. Do I always feel like weightlifting? Not necessarily, but I do know that it makes a huge difference for my body, my health, and it keeps me going at 49 years old. So I don't just put on a patch and think this is going to substitute, for exercise, healthy eating, sleeping, etc. Guys, I really, really would appreciate it if you can hit the thumbs up button. If you are watching and you're tuning into this video, please take a moment. I know on my screen, it's at the top. It might be at the bottom for you. I'm guessing it's at the bottom. I would so really appreciate it if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up, just to tell the algorithm that you enjoy my video and that you stopped by and you were here. It makes such a big difference, and I really thank you for that. If anybody wants to jump in with any questions or comments, also feel free. I always really enjoy hearing from you guys when I am on here. And this is an interesting one too. So a big mistake that I see is wearing the patch for too long. Now, that can be different amounts of time for different people, because what I have found with working with people is that not everybody was meant to wear the patch for the same time. I usually get into that as a conversation. By the way, if you're looking to be a client of mine, please know that I always put my link in the description. It does not cost you any extra to work with me. So if you're purchasing Lifewave and you actually purchase through my link, you get to work with me personally and ask me questions and kind of get my personal take on what is the reasons why you're using these patches and how you can use these patches, etc. It is one of my favorite things to help people personally, because I have learned a lot over the years working with various functional doctors and wearing these patches. And one of the things that I've noticed is not everybody gets that there are subtleties in how we wear the patches. And this is just a personal thing. This is just how I do it. But I think I have a very good rhythm for how to roll out the patches and when, where, and how long. So I love to do that for people. It's not that difficult, don't get me wrong, but it is nice to have somebody knowledgeable to ask questions to. So if you are looking to work with me and you haven't started the patches and you're not working with someone, feel free to email me. My email is always in the description, or feel free just to order me through me and then still email me so I can help you. So wearing the patch for too long can mean all different things. I actually just had a new brand partner sign up with me, and it was really interesting because she was having something interesting happen, and she asked me, could that have something to do with the patch? And I said, sure, yeah, for sure it could. And so we had a little talk about what I would personally do with that. And it was really interesting because I think it had to do with the duration that she was wearing the patch for. And this doesn't always show up right away. So it's not always something that people notice 2 days in or 5 days in. It might be 17 days in or 30 days in. And that is where it's nice to have somebody to navigate wearing the patch with you, if you will. So that is a big thing that I see. And of course, we also don't want to wear the patch, for 24 hours or to be re-wearing our patches for days and days. I know I get that question a lot. Why can't I wear the patch, over and over again? It's a disposable product. The crystalline matrix is going to change over time and no longer be effective. It still looks the same, but it is not the same. And this is, kind of something that we covered in the very beginning, but wearing too many patches at once. I know that when you go on the Lifewave site and you see Energy Enhancer, SP6, Eon, Carnosine, Glutathione, Silent Nights, Alavita, X49, X39, probably forgetting something, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. There's a lot of different patches, and sometimes we see them and we think we need all of them. But what I have found is many times what I do with clients is I start them out just on a few simple patches, and then we check in and we say, it's like, how are you doing now? How are you feeling? How are you feeling overall? What has changed for you? What hasn't changed? What are you hoping for more of? What are you hoping for less of? And then you can see if you might want to add something else. But maybe if you add all those patches, there's a few different things. One, if you add too many patches in the beginning, it's overwhelming for people, for one. So even though honestly, I have every single one of these patches in a drawer, but I don't wear every one of the patches every day. I wear this patch almost every day, and I wear the other, I don't know if it's 8 or 9 patches. I wear probably 50% of them at least once a month, but I don't wear them daily. So I wear them on certain days, depending on what I feel that my body needs, or I might wear them cyclically if there is something that I feel needs a little bit of extra attention. But what I have found is these patches, even though when you first look at them, they look like a really simple little sticker. And honestly, if you see it, you would just think it's not going to do very much. So I'm just going to wear it, wear it for the full amount of time. Maybe I'm going to wear this. Maybe I'm going to wear one that in my mind, I think is going to help me with weight loss or something like that, which I'm not claiming that any of them do that, but that's kind of what people start doing. And it's too much for their bodies and they wind up not feeling better. So if you go and you put 4 patches on right away, it's a huge ask for your body. They may not be supplements, they may not be pills, but it's very, very interesting to see that even though these look like they're just little stickers, they are quite powerful and they can elicit certain feelings when you put them on. So less is definitely more. Does anybody have any questions or comments? This is a super, super quiet group. So if just kind of opening it up to see if anybody would like to say anything. Probably won't stay on too long if you guys don't have anything to say. My favorite kinds of live streams are when people actually participate and say little things. It's always a friendly live stream. But when I come on here and I talk and it's just me, I usually just end them a little bit early because for the most part, it's boring for me. I love to hear from you guys and feel like it's not just me kind of making a video, etc. So if you enjoy these and you'd like to hear from me a little bit more often, please, please, please take the time to comment because I always love to hear from you guys. And for the most part, I don't really spend any time in my YouTube comments. So if I'm not on here live, you probably won't find me in the comments. Well, it was fun to come on today, you guys. Quick update as well. My dog Lola has not been doing very well. She is 13 years old and she has an autoimmune disorder. And so it's autoimmune, it's not cancer. I want to be really clear about that. Everybody always thinks that it's cancer because I say she got chemo. She does not have chemo. She does not have cancer. So Lola had 6 rounds of chemo to suppress her immune system because her immune system was attacking her body and her brain. She also got put on a high dose of steroids. I also, even though, again, these are not a treatment for dogs, I did also begin patching her. I had patched her previously as well, but I started getting very, very regular with it. So she was patched the entire time. So she got the entire 6 months of chemo, and the neurologist wanted to keep giving her chemotherapy. And I have nothing against conventional medicine. So one thing that you'll see, even though I don't do a lot of conventional things myself, I'm always open to it. I think for acute things, there are things that I would do if I needed to do them. And so I tried those things and it did help to a certain point, but I felt that the last few chemotherapy treatments, she was extremely afraid about getting them, and it really didn't seem like they were having much of an effect on her. And so decided to stop the chemotherapy and start ozone therapy. She is still wearing, so she's wearing a combination of 3 of the different patches as well. She's getting ozone. She's also getting fed raw food from North Star Bison and organ supplements from a company called Wild Mamas. The organ supplements are amazing. If you go on Wild Mamas, by the way, my code is Megan Graham 15. That gets you 15% off all the organ supplements. I need to do a video about those because they are amazing. But she's been overall holding her own. She's been overall doing pretty well. But this week, kind of an unexpected thing, she got a pancreatitis flare. And she's had pancreatitis, and I was mostly able to manage it, but I started giving her some bone marrow bones from North Star Bison, and I think she just cleared out the bone marrow all at once, and it is kind of like meat butter, they call it. So she's dealing with a little a flare, a pancreatitis big flare, and she didn't get her ozone treatment. So if anybody out there prays, I would really appreciate it if you could say a prayer for my little Yorkshire Terrier, Lola. She has been my best friend for the past 13 years, and I would literally lay my body down in traffic to elongate her life. I would do anything to make her live happily and healthfully for longer. So if you do pray, I would so appreciate it. I have been praying for her. And if I could, I would take all of her health problems into my body so that she didn't have to deal with them. But for now, I'm doing everything that I can, and I'm just staying home with her and keeping an eye on her. We didn't go anywhere for the holiday weekend. We just wanted to be with her so we could see how she was doing and just give her all the attention and love that she needs. So I'm hoping that she gets better soon. So appreciate your thoughts and prayers and things like that. But anyway, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. And just a little quick recap. Here are the 5 mistakes: starting with the wrong patch, not drinking enough water, expecting results overnight. That's probably, to me, the biggest thing. And if you get mad at that, you're being unrealistic. That's it. I'm here to be realistic. I'm not here to oversell you. I'm not here to overhype you. I'm not here to tell you that anything that you can buy every month is a miracle. You are always part of the miracle. Time is always part of the miracle, and it's never just one thing. And so I want people to understand that patches are great, but they're part of your toolbox. They're part of all the other things that you need to do to stay healthy. For instance, even from Lifewave, I do Cellergize and the patches because I know that those work super well together. And you might think you can get it from your vitamins or minerals, but unless you have 14 bottles of things around, you're probably not getting what's in Cellergize. So definitely don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you these things because I really want you to have a better experience. And seriously, very honestly, thinking a patch can outrun a poor lifestyle. They're amazing, but we are all part of the things that we do turn into our reality. So the habits that we have, even for like the past 5 years, we start to see those habits come into play in our health, in our relationships, in our happiness. So always know that you're part of it too. That is very important. Wearing the patch too long and starting with too many patches. So hope that this was helpful, and I hope that everybody has a beautiful day. If you are patching, don't give up. And if you haven't started patching and you'd like to work with me, my email is in the description. Please feel free to send me an email if you're not already working with another brand partner. If you are working with another brand partner, you're always welcome to come to my live streams, but my private consults and my private, where I actually give people personal advice, is obviously always with my team, etc. But I always try to come on here and just drop as much info for everybody as possible. So have a beautiful Tuesday. It was really great to see you guys, and I really appreciate you stopping by. Thanks, everybody.